Imagine the most successful group of fishes in the world's rivers and lakes. They make up 2/3 of all freshwater fish species. They are on every continent except Antarctica. This group includes the goldfish in your bowl, the fearsome piranhas of the Amazon, the ubiquitous catfishes, and the strange electric knife fishes. This is the story of the Otophysi, a dominant lineage whose secret to success was locked in deep time. For centuries, we had no idea how they became so diverse. But, like the discovery of the Rosetta Stone unlocked Egyptian hieroglyphs, a series of remarkable fossils have begun to decipher the evolutionary code of these fishes. These Otophysan Rosetta Stones are revealing the silent history of an aquatic empire. A Rosetta Stone fossil is a paleontologist's dream. It's a specimen that provides a crucial key to understanding a major evolutionary transition. It shows a mix of primitive and advanced features, acting as a bridge between an ancestral group and its descendants. For the Otophysan fishes, the central mystery was their greatest innovation, the Weberian apparatus. Finding fossils with early or intermediate versions of this structure is like finding the key to their entire evolutionary story. To understand why these fossils are so important, you first have to grasp the marvel of the Weberian apparatus itself. It's an evolutionary masterpiece, the single most important feature that defines the Otophysi, and the main reason for their incredible success. It's a complex piece of biological machinery made from a chain of 4 tiny, modified bones derived from the first few vertebrae. These little bones, called the claustrum, scaphium, intercalarium, and tripus, form a direct mechanical link between the fish's swim bladder and its inner ear. Think of it this way. The gas-filled swim bladder acts like a biological hydrophone, vibrating in response to sound waves traveling through the water. The Weberian ossicles then act as a sophisticated amplification system, transmitting these vibrations with stunning efficiency to the inner ear. The result is superhearing. This allows Otophysan fishes to detect a much wider range of sound frequencies than almost any other fish. While many fish can only hear low-frequency rumbles below 200 Hz, some Otophysans, like the common zebrafish, can perceive frequencies up to 15,000 Hz. That's a range approaching what we humans can hear. In the often murky, complex, and noisy freshwater environments they call home, this enhanced hearing is a massive advantage. It helps with everything from detecting the faintest splash of a predator to hearing the subtle movements of prey, communicating with mates, and navigating complex territories. For decades, the origin of this intricate structure was a huge debate. Did it evolve just once in a common ancestor? Or did it appear multiple times? And where and when did it happen? The answers were hidden in the fossil record, or rather, the lack of it. For a long time, the fossil record of Otophysans was frustratingly empty. The oldest known fossils were from the Cenozoic era, long after scientists believed the group must have already diversified. This created what paleontologists call a ghost lineage, a long period where a group must have existed, but for which we have no direct fossil proof. This all changed with the discovery of a small herring-like fish from the Santana Formation in Brazil. Its name was Santanichthys diasii, and it was a bombshell. Dating back approximately 115 million years to the early Cretaceous period, this tiny fish, just a few centimeters long, pushed back the known fossil record of the group by tens of millions of years. It landed right in the middle of that ghost lineage. But its age wasn't the most shocking part. Santanichthys possessed a complete, though primitive, Weberian apparatus. It was, without a doubt, the earliest known Otophysan. The second shock came from where it was found. The Santana Formation is made of marine sediments. This meant Santanichthys lived in a brackish or fully marine environment. This single fossil directly challenged the long-held consensus that Otophysans were a primary freshwater group, meaning they had evolved and always lived in fresh water. Suddenly, the story had a saltwater twist. The anatomy of Santanichthys provided even more clues. While its Weberian apparatus was complete, it was more primitive than in modern species. It also had specific features in its inner ear called laginar capsules, which are a defining trait of modern carassiforms, the group that includes tetras and piranhas. This suggested Santanichthys was a stem carassiform, an early cousin on the family tree. The existence of a marine Otophysan from 115 million years ago implied that the major evolutionary split between the main Otophysan groups happened much earlier than thought. More importantly, it suggested their move into freshwater wasn't a single, ancient event. The story was getting far more interesting. The discovery of Santanichthys was just the first crack in the code. Other fossils soon added more detail. Take Chenoides macropoma, found in Monte Bolca, Italy. Although it's younger than Santanichthys, its Weberian apparatus is actually more primitive. This is a perfect example of what's called mosaic evolution. Mosaic evolution is a pattern where different traits evolve at different rates. An organism becomes a mosaic of old and new features. Chenoides shows us that the complex Weberian apparatus wasn't an all-or-nothing invention. It was assembled piece by piece over a very long time. These fossils are transitional forms, providing powerful evidence for the gradual nature of evolution. Other fossils, like the even older Tischling-Gerichthys from the late Jurassic of Germany, give us a glimpse into the deeper ancestry of the larger group, the Otophysi, before the Weberian apparatus was fully formed. As more Mesozoic Otophysan fossils were discovered in Europe and Africa, a pattern emerged. Many of these early forms were found in marine sediments. This growing pile of evidence forced a complete paradigm shift. The old, simple story of a single freshwater origin on the supercontinent Pangaea was wrong. The new narrative is much more dynamic. It now appears that the common ancestor of all Otophysan fishes was likely a marine species. The precursor elements of the Weberian apparatus, the beginnings of that superhearing, may have first evolved as an advantage in the ocean. Then, something fascinating happened. After the breakup of Pangaea, different lineages of these marine Otophysans seem to have independently invaded freshwater environments on multiple separate occasions. This multiple invasions model perfectly explains the group's current global distribution, a puzzle that the single origin theory struggled to solve. As continents drifted apart, these newly freshwater populations became isolated, setting the stage for their explosive diversification into the tens of thousands of species we see today. A 67-million-year-old fossil named Acronychthys macanioi, found in freshwater deposits in Alberta, Canada, adds more weight to this new, complex timeline of multiple marine to freshwater transitions. These Otophysan Rosetta stones have unlocked many secrets, but they've also opened up new questions. The precise relationships between the four major orders of Otophysi, the carps, the tetras and piranhas, the catfishes and the knifefishes, are still being debated. The fragmentary nature of fossils means their exact placement on the family tree can be contentious. For instance, not everyone agrees that Santanichthys is a stem carassiform. Some argue it belongs to a more basal, earlier branch of the Otophysan tree. The future of this research is exciting. New technologies like micro-CT scanning allow scientists to create detailed 3D models of these tiny, delicate fossils without damaging them. And by studying the ancient paleo-environments in more detail, we can start to understand the why. Why did they evolve such sensitive hearing? Was it to avoid giant marine reptiles? To find food in murky estuaries? For complex social communication? We don't have all the answers yet. The story of the Otophysan Rosetta Stone is a perfect example of science in action. A handful of small, ancient fishes, frozen in time for over 100 million years, have completely rewritten a major chapter in the book of life. They have given voice to a previously silent history, revealing a tale of innovation, adaptation, and global conquest. The evolutionary code of the world's most successful freshwater fishes is still being deciphered. But thanks to these remarkable fossils, the script is finally becoming clear.